So, that's what drugs are. So what can you do instead then? That's another thing when a lot of people come out to talk about drugs. They always tell you what you can't do and they never tell you what you can do. Boring, isn't it? It's like parents. They always tell us what we can't do and then we're not allowed to do anything. What can you do? You can get goals in life. Anybody heard about goals in life? You have to have goals in life. It's like, yeah, I know. I put a chip in my PlayStation. I downloaded 3,000 new MP3 songs. Goals. Drugs start here and go here. Drugs are very fun, not so fun, terrible, catastrophe, dead. Life, bad, better later on. Has anybody here heard about these things? I'm too fat. My breasts are too small. My arse doesn't stop growing. Where the hell is my stomach going? I feel stupid. I can't read. Anybody heard things like this? Comes from a person whose life started like that. You were small, you were white, you had a tail, and you were living in a ball. You had 500 million friends. They all looked the same. You were sitting there, chilling out, talking with your friends there, and all of a sudden, somehow, because I can't really remember that I actually applied for this, but I'm in this whopping great big swimming contest with 500 million friends, and we're trying to find an egg in a cave. I don't get any maps, no GPSs, no nothing. It's just like you have 3 to 6 days. Swim like hell, because if you don't find it, you're dead. And you just have to be in the right swimming contest as well, because if you're in the wrong one, you can end up in some really weird places. Or you might end up in the right place, but the wrong date. That is a bummer. You swim, you find the place, and it's like, closed. What? No egg today. Well, apparently we were in the right contest, we did find the egg, and we did actually get into it. Did we win anything? No, hold your breath. Why? Because first you have to grow for 9 months. Then what? Then we're going to try to squeeze you out through a hole that we didn't really count the right way. It's a bit like getting a truck out of a normal car garage. Something's going to break. So you come out, your head's squeezed, you're covered in blood. Someone comes out with a big scissor and cuts off your food stream. You start screaming, and there's a doctor there with loads of education and experience who says, well, that's good. Well, the baby's screaming. It doesn't have anything to do with that. His head's squeezed to pieces. It takes 3 days before it gets to normal shape again. It was 37 degrees in the stomach, 19 when it came out. So he's freezing his ass off. He's squeezed to pieces. His head's all mushed up. And we cut his food supply. But he's happy. So I mean, life was not easy when it started. But you've taken yourself from a sperm to where you are now in this exact moment. But I know your teachers have heard stuff like this. I can't do this. Okay, you went from a sperm to where you are now, where you can't read 20 pages of Swedish. You must be joking. Because I know that you can read 70 pages if it's an iPhone booklet. And you'll read it once, never again. Because you will know exactly what was in that and how to use your phone the rest of your life. I can't count. Bullshit. When's your wizard going to level up? Well, I have to kill 4 orcs and that ogre thing over there and I level up. So how do you know that? Well, you just have to plus all the experience points together. Okay, so you can do head counting, quite complicated head counting, whilst the dragon is trying to eat you. You're Facebooking and taking down movies from some page and talking on your mobile phone. But when your teacher asks you to do the same thing in a classroom, it's impossible. Stupid decision you had. This is not the teacher's fault. It's like, how many countries are there in Europe? I don't know. How many domains is there in Skyrim? And for people who don't know, Skyrim is a computer game. Or you ask them, how many domains are there in World of Warcraft? That depends. Which expansion are you talking about? I mean, you don't take any of the expansions. It's 12 and then there's 4 with that one and that one. And or where do you find this castle in Europe? Don't know. Where do you find this special sword in this computer game? It's on level 24. If you've done this quest, you can talk to this guy and he knows exactly where it is. If I want to learn something, I will learn something, and it has nothing to do with how complicated it is. How can I say that? Because when I went in 6th grade here in Sweden, I was reading the rule book for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and I can tell you that rule book was not written for a 6th grade person who can hardly speak English. How the hell did we get through it? With a dictionary. Because I wanted to make sure I know what I've read, because or else I can't use the rules. But in school, do I use a dictionary? No! Well, I don't care. But that's going to create problems. Some people, yeah, but we have so many boring lessons. There is no such thing as a boring lesson. Not a funny one either. You can prove it. Let's say this is a book. It's not, it's a movie. But it is a book today. If I go like this with a book, is it going to get sad? Upset? If this is an English book, but I put it in the French section, is it going to feel a bit like discriminated? Why didn't you put me there? Is that going to happen? Why not? Yeah, it's not alive. And things that aren't alive don't have what?
Feelings.
Boring is a feeling. How the hell can something that's dead be boring? A maths book can't be boring. It can't be fun. It can't be anything. It's goddamn dead. It doesn't have feelings. I'm sad. Why? Nobody's read me today. A subject gets boring when I say it's boring. It's like Avatar. If I like that kind of movie, Avatar's great. If I don't like it, then Blue Monkeys. If you like fantasy movies, Lord of the Rings is fantastic. If you don't, it's pathetic. I mean, I was actually watching a movie, Star Wars. I like Star Wars. And there was a guy behind me who said, I can't watch this, man. It doesn't feel real. And I'm like, what the hell did you think? You're watching a space movie with a little green guy with ears flying around. Of course it's not real, moron. For some reason, this guy did not understand he was going to watch a science fiction movie with a guy with breathing problems. But I like it, but the thing is, it's up to me. What do I like, what don't I like? I mean, I know people who don't like the physics class, but they watch Mythbusters. Mythbusters is about two things, physics and chemistry. They blow stuff up or they break things. I went to restaurant school. I never liked chemistry. The only part of chemistry I liked was blowing stuff up. But now I'm very interested in chemistry because I saw a program on Discovery Channel called Chemistry in the Kitchen, which is actually a well-known English chef that uses chemistry and makes some really weird dishes, but he knows exactly how the chemistry of it works. It's like, have you ever had vegetables and someone cooked them and they were like puree? It's like, they look round, you chew on it, and he could show actually by chemistry exactly why that happened. He had a piece of meat this big he was going to cook. Normally I would shove that in the oven 3 hours and it comes out and it's nice on the edges and dry in the middle. What he did was he took out a torch on the outside and then put it in the oven 60 degrees centigrade for 12 hours. Came out perfect. Because he knew when he baked the outside, the moisture couldn't break out, so it got stuck inside and it cooked itself. Now all of a sudden I was like, But if the teacher tried to tell me the same thing, I did. Because I wasn't interested. And that's the thing, it's up to you. The only thing you have to do is make a decision, put a goal there, and make sure to get it done. Doesn't matter what it is. If you want to be a millionaire, good, be one. If someone says it doesn't work, bugger them. I want to be a professional football player. Good idea. Buy a football. First goal, pair of shoes. Second goal. Third goal, find a team. Train a hell of a lot and you'll be a professional football player. Some people say it can't be that easy. That's the thing, it is that easy. That's why people don't do it. It's too easy. All you have to do is train a lot. Do you know what the difference is between an amateur and a professional? Do you know where the word professional comes from? Profession. The only difference is it comes from profession. It's my job. That's the difference between an amateur and a professional. One gets paid for it, the other one does it for free or for fun. I mean, do you know who Ingmar Stenmark is? Yeah. Okay, some do, some don't. It's a Swedish skiing guy. He doesn't ski anymore. He quit skiing before you probably were born. He is an amateur, but I will tell you something. I would not try to compete with that guy on a ski hill because it will beat the hell out of me. Or Gunde Svan. I would hardly go up against him. Schumacher, he's not a professional Formula 1 driver anymore because he quit. I wouldn't try to beat him. He's still good, but he's not professional because he has another job. And that's the only thing. You just put up what you want to do and make sure to get it done. So what's the bad point of this? Because there must be a bad point to having a goal, as there's a bad point to taking drugs. Of course there is. If you put a goal up and you try to make it, someone's going to shoot you. Because this planet does not like people with goals. And it definitely doesn't like people with the goals that actually manage to get them done. And I know people in here have had this problem. You have a test, you get a good result. Yes! And it's like, yeah. As soon as you get attacked for having a good result in a test, it's good. The more you can get attacked for that, the better. The best part about it is you just found out who's crap. Because there's always the people who can't get shit done that complain. I mean, you've never seen anybody win the gold medal in a Olympic. I won! But I would like to doping test number 13 there. I thought it was a bit weird on the fourth corner. I mean, if I won, I don't care if it was on anything. Because I won. Have you heard of Saab? Yeah. Saab, car factory here in Sweden. Didn't go so well. They tried to sell it. A guy from Ängelholm said, I can buy it. This guy's called Koenigsegg. He builds some heavy-duty sports cars. I mean, I think he's been building sports cars for like 20 years. And he's already competing with Ferrari and Lamborghini, which both of them have been going at it for over 100 years. And all the newspapers of Sweden, he can't do it, he won't make it work. So who do they sell it to? Spiker. Fantastic. A guy we know whose production record is he's crashed the last 5 car factories he's owned. We sell it to him. Why? Because the other guy hasn't crashed any and he's too good. It's the same, you have a football match. You have one of these supporters who likes one of these files. Who gets the front page in the newspaper? That idiot. Not 39,000 people who are there doing the right thing, cheering on their team. No, this idiot gets the front page. Or the guy who wrote Dick on the wall, running around, I'm cool. I don't know, 4 letters is not exactly complicated. It's not like the Nobel Prize for Literature going on here. Or he's hanging at Central Station for 2 years, I'm cool. Or you get a timetable and you're only there for a quarter of an hour. But there's always these kind of people newspapers like writing about. Idiots. They even got their own TV show, Swedish Mafia. When I was a criminal, I tried to sell the hell out of TV. I would never in my life, when I was a criminal, sit like this. Hi, my name's Alex, I'm a criminal. As I know, police officers can also watch TV. I can just see Skånegatan, that's the police station here in Gothenburg, sitting there watching TV. Ah, oh, I thought he was Bandidos. He's not. No, no, he's Black Cobra. Let's move him. How do you know? He said it himself on TV. I mean, talk about being a total idiot. And people run around, they're cool. No, they're idiots. That is a cool person. There's a magazine called Forbes. It's like a business magazine. Last year, they crowned the most influential person on the planet Earth. You know who it was? Bono. Bono, the singer in the band U2, was the most influential person. Why? This is a guy who's a singer for a rock band. And he's met the Pope. They sent him to the Middle East to actually try to solve a conflict. He's a goddamn singer. What the hell's he doing down there? Singing Kumbaya with them around a campfire and then it's not killing each other? Because he's put all the goals there. It's the same. Anybody seen the rock video for Metallica's song Saint Anger? I mean, the guys they're playing for aren't exactly shoplifters. I mean, some of the gang tattoos these guys have, I mean, they've murdered people. How the hell do they let Metallica in a place like that? Because they know these guys are not going to get attacked. Because they are so cool, they can actually go into a criminal environment and be safe pointed. Just because of what they've done is so cool. And that's why these people are always going to win in the end. In the beginning, these can actually win. They can be faster. They can seem to be more prosperous, but not in the end. It's always going to be these guys. I mean, the only bad people that ever got into the history books was like Hitler. I mean, this is a fantastic role model, isn't he? I mean, he even had a weird hairdo. So that's the thing. Just make up your mind what you want to get done and make sure to get it done. If somebody says it doesn't work, don't worry. Probably just meant they tried, they didn't make it, they had a failure and they gave up. And they don't want you to make it, so now they complain. It's the same with people trying to quit smoking. If they don't manage, then it's impossible and they try to get everybody else to start. Some of you probably have this problem in here. You stop eating candy. Never has anybody given you so much candy as the day you say, I've quit. You haven't. Or you say, I've quit smoking. You sure you don't want one? It's okay that I smoke, you know, it's really nice after the... These people are like that. These guys aren't. But it's your life, you do what you want. But I can recommend that site because it's fun. Especially on this planet. Because this planet is crazy. It is absolutely bonkers. But that's why it's fun. If you don't believe me, go down to Central Station and count people smiling. Take food with you. You're going to be there quite some time. Because most of them look like this. I'm ambitious. No, you're bored out of your head. They stand by X2000. Then one goes up and they go, the door doesn't open. Of course it doesn't. It says that on the sign. It won't open for 10 minutes before the train goes. So now they're back into their line again. Then someone else goes there. Doesn't work. They go back into line. None of them talk to each other. Unless, all of a sudden over the loudspeakers, well, a little bit of traffic information, X2000 will be a bit late today because of a technical fault. Now everybody will start talking to you. Before, they won't say a word. I love being on trains in the winter time. They can't keep the time because there's 2 billion tons snow on the tracks, which creates small amount of problems. But the best part is always when they call it out over the loudspeakers. Well, a bit of traffic information because of the snow, we're going to be late. And there's always someone on the train. Oh my God, it's not true. Yeah, absolutely it is, actually. It's snowing like hell and she probably won't lie over the head system. What am I going to do now? now you're going to get late. That's what you get told. And then you always hear someone say, doesn't SG know it's winter every year? Yeah, they do. The problem is the people travelling don't know, apparently, that it's winter every year. Every year I watch the news, and every year around Christmas time you have 300 people complaining the plane didn't go. The snowstorm, no plane. What happened last year? Snowstorm, no plane. And the year before that? Snowstorm, no plane. Have you ever thought of just skipping the flight and take your car instead? No, they do the same thing every single time. And that's what you're competing against. I tell you, there's not much competition out there. Small goal and you blow most of it away. Because many people, sadly, don't have much of a goal out there. So just put one there and you're going to have loads of fun. Anybody who has any questions about anything? Except how to bake muffins. I'm not very good at that. Yep.
You were saying earlier about checking when someone's knocked out from alcohol, how much they have in just. How do you do that?
You need to phone an ambulance. You can always try to wake them up. You can like shake them. If they start opening their eyes and actually can communicate with you, they're quite okay. But if the only communication you get is before their eyes shut down again, then it's a 112 number you need to phone. You need an ambulance there. And I know some people might think, yeah, whoa, wait a minute. Mum and Dad left and they said, do not have a party. I lied my arse off and said, no, I'm not going to have a party. But of course I did anyway. And when you do things like that, you don't want your parents to know. And having a big yellow bus on the outside with blinking blue lamps all over the place is not exactly discreet. So therefore I will not ring an ambulance when my friend gets that drunk. Well, I can tell you another thing. It is not exactly discreet when your parents come home and find dead people. And it is extremely hard to try to explain why there's a dead person in the couch. And CSI are there trying to figure out if there's some kind of crime behind this, because they will. If someone dies from alcohol in a flat, they always have to come there to see if there's any kind of crime behind. It's easier to phone an ambulance. At least then I took responsibility. The other one was not taking responsibility. And that's the thing, you can do whatever you want as long as you're willing to take responsibility. If you want to go out and beat someone up in the schoolyard, why don't you then? But don't run off when the teachers phone the cops and you go sit on the bench in the schoolyard. I'll sit here, tell the cops to come and pick me up. The cops come, what happened? I beat them up. Why? Don't like him. Well, that's not good. No. I've called my parents. They're on their way down to talk to the headmaster because they're going to guarantee want to have some kind of chat about this. I've also phoned up my insurance company to find out roughly how much I'll have to pay this guy because I did actually beat him up. Because it's my fault it happened. Is this going to happen? Is that person going to do that? Therefore he can't do it because he's not going to take responsibility for it. And that's the thing, if you can take responsibility for it, it's very easy to do it. And that's how I put goals in life. If I can do it, take responsibility for it and tell it to my parents, it's a cool goal. If I can't take responsibility, or I can, but I can't tell my mum and dad, it's probably not a very good goal. I mean, have you ever seen someone playing football like this? Bang! Schmack! Hooah! It was him! No, doesn't happen. You've never seen anybody get a good result on a test and then try to tell somebody, oh, it wasn't my test. It's a fraud. Someone plays guitar and their parents come in, we found a guitar in your room, do you know anything about that? Someone must have forgotten it. Not mine. If it's a cool goal, I'll never have to cover it up. If it's a bad goal, I will have to cover it up. And that's all you need to know on how to put them up there or not. Your goal, your life, do what you want, but don't complain. If it's bad, change it. If it's the wrong goal, change it. What the hell? Sometimes you do things wrong. It's like you drive a car, you come to a crossing. The worst thing to do is nothing. Which way? I don't know. They're going to be standing here the rest of the lines. I don't know. The best thing is left. Is it that way? Don't know. After half a mile? No. Turn the car around. Oh, now what? Straight forward. Is it that way? I don't know. Wrong place. Ah, now I know where we're going. That is actually better. 2 wrong goals, but he got the right in the end. This one's not going to go anywhere. He's just going to be like, oh, they seem confused. The shock is when he doesn't come back from this route. Where did they go? They got to their goal. Your life, your decision. Okay, thank you very much for being here. Have a nice day.